Good evening, everyone. We're back again with another manga review, this time for Clockwork Planet Vol.4. I'm doing this one. I want to catch up with the series. They snuck a volume out when I wasn't looking. So here's Volume 4. Volume 5 comes out on October 10th, actually. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. Now, we already know the main plot. We're 4 volumes in. So the main plot, just a quick refresher, is the world, Earth, is now made out of gears by a unknown creator. All we know is his name is Y. And he created the entire Earth, again, out of gears. And he created automatons called the Initial Y series, named after himself. These automatons are extremely powerful. And we know that there's 2 so far. But we know that there's a bit more than that. We just don't know their names or what they do or anything. But we do know that there's 2, Anchor and Ryuzu. So, without further ado, let's get right on into this one. The main plot in Volume 4 is, if you remember from Volume 3, it ends with Naoto and company fighting against Ryuzu's sister Anchor, whom they found. But she seems to be not in control of herself. Something else is controlling her and keeping her. So now in this one, we spend the majority of the time fighting Anchor and kind of finding out what that weapon is that they saw in Book 3. There was a big weapon underground in the city of Mie. And so we're just trying to figure out, our heroes are just trying to figure out what that is exactly, and they find the answer to what it is in this series, and they kind of continue their search for it. And kind of how to stop it if they can, although they don't get quite that far. So, with that said, it's a good series. I like it so far. Really do like it, actually. Character development in here. We kind of continue to see our crew develop into, well, basically terrorists. Except for not to hurt people, actually the opposite. They do it in order to save people. Like the incident coming up in this between 2 separate factions. Instead of letting those two factions fight against each other, they come up with this plan to attack a certain city first in order to make the populace evacuate, so there's less casualties when those 2 factions do start fighting. So that is the biggest reason that they choose to become so-called terrorists, is really for those reasons only, not to kill anybody. They do oppose the military for what they did in the first couple volumes, which is trying to purge an entire gear, just because they couldn't find the problem and didn't really care. And we find out that also this is not the first time that they've done that. They did it with another gear before, in order to cover up what they were hiding in Shiga. So you find out more and more. I believe you start figuring that out in Book 3, and then continuing on into Book 4 is what really kind of gives you what happens in that. So they continue the development. They continue working better as a team. Get a little bit more trust for each other, a little bit more just are they able to work together better and form plans better, and they kind of start coming into their own, which is something that you always want to see. You don't want to see stagnant characters. The artwork is relatively the same as in all the other series. As always, I'll go kind of show a little bit. We meet a random old guy for now. Anybody who knows the anime knows what he is or who he is. Some sadness in here. They end up falling into the earth. where the mantle used to be. We kind of learned a little bit about what happened to that, and a little bit more about what happened to the Earth. So here we go, though. Our battle with Anchor is continuing on in this series. But yeah, the artwork is rather nice. It's, you know, the same as all the rest, but still. So we got Naoto and them coming into their own as terrorists in the scene here. But yep, so I like the artwork in this series. Halter is on the front cover. And as always, I'll flip it over so that way you can read read the back here. Always like to give a little synopsis as I talk and let you guys read that, what's going on. The anime is finished. I believe I've said that already, so if anybody's interested in watching that, feel free to give that a shot. It's really good. I really like it, you know. It's different than what's come out. It's not the same kind of it's not the same song and dance as everything else that's come out. It's something different, unique, and it really drew my attention. The idea of a Clockwork planet was pretty cool. And as always, would I recommend the manga? Yes, of course. I still recommend it. Going into this volume, it still kept me entertained and intrigued, even though I've seen the anime already. It's fun reading the manga as well. And again, the manga is rated for anybody 16 plus, according to Kodansha Comics. And I bought this one at Kinokuniya. Barnes & Nobles didn't have Volume 4. They had like 1, 2, and 3, but they didn't have Volume 4, which is why I never knew it even came out. I stopped by Barnes & Nobles at least once every other week at the very least. And I never saw this out. And I didn't even think to check Kodansha's website to see what their new releases were. So it never dawned on me. I went to Kinokuniya to pick up another book, another manga. And I ended up finding this little treasure. So I decided I would get that probably week ago or so. I picked it up along with a few others. So anyways, that's it for this. As you can see, great book or manga, great storyline, great art, great everything. So pick it up, and if you have any comments or anything, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world. Give me suggestions or whatever you guys want to see. Hit the like button and share the video, please. It would mean the world. Anyways, without anything else to say, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will talk to you all next time.